Hi there, this is Adam Jones from Boatlife Fishing. Hope you guys are well. Today I am very excited to say that we're at Warrior Boats. We are going to go inside and check out the facility up here in Preston. I'm really excited to meet Phil, and also I've got Mr. John Locker with me as well. We've been down in Conwy, or across in Conwy, getting ready for the Boatlife Fishing Championships, doing some filming with Gav Williams from Small Boat Sea Fishing and Mr. John Locker. I've dragged him here to Warrior Boats. John has a Warrior, and Phil is going to give John the full tour of the Warrior HQ. So come with me and let's have a little look. Inside the showroom here, there's a couple of really nice Warriors ready to be picked up by their various owners. We've got a Warrior 175 Pro XS. This is a really, really cool boat, and also a 170 Leisure on this side as well, which has been fitted really, really nicely. Got the sea deck HD here, some lovely upholstery, fold-up seats. I'm really, really excited to have a little look round the Warrior showroom. So come with me, let's go see John and Phil and have a look round Warrior HQ. Welcome to the main workshop here at Warrior Boats. It's so cool to see where these boats are put together. Now, there's not many people out there that haven't seen a Warrior floating around on a marina or flying out to go fishing, and this is where every single one of those boats is built. Now, over there we've got the molds, we've got some fiberglassing, and then they come out here and they get put together ready to go out to the customers. Now, John and Phil are just around this corner, so I'm going to hand over to them and let them give you the full tour of this location down here at Warrior Boats. I'm really excited to hear a bit more from them. Let's go.
Thank you very much, Adam. I'm just going to introduce you to Phil from Warrior. I'm really excited about being here at Warrior today. It's from my engineering background myself, I'm finding it fascinating seeing every single stage of the boat that I own being built. Listening to some of the stories about how because you've designed and built these for how many years now?
This will be 29 years since the first one went out.
I've been picking his brain for half an hour already. If I can just get you to take us around again and show you from start to almost the finished article on the other side of it.
Yeah.
It's
so this is where we build all the hulls, or start the process from materials coming in, and we have all the hull moulds.
So each one of these is a different size of Warrior hull mould?
Yeah. That's 6 metre, that's a 175, that's the 165, that's the 170.
So the hull on the end is the hull for the boat that I own?
Yeah. That's the hull that you have.
Is this the same hull that you've been using for the last... So this is the actual hull that my boat came out of?
This is the original hull mould, and this is where your boat would have been made.
It's interesting to picture, considering that you're looking at the reverse, but yeah, every single the lines of it as well, yeah. and working down through where it's...
And they obviously look a lot different.
It looks massive.
But it's the way that we manufacture the hulls. We put them on a spit, and then the lads can work into it. Yeah. We get the double overlap on the keel or on the chines where it's needed.
So how many levels of layer do you go through onto here? Because I'm assuming that...
So we'll start with, like this is a top mould for a pro angler. Right. This is an actual mould itself. It's been waxed, prepared, and it's had a layer of gel coat. That gel coat is going to be around about 0.6 of a millimetre thick, and then we're going to put another layer on it shortly, just to make sure we've got full coverage. There's no dark spots. Then that'll be slightly less, 0.5 millimetre.
So if you were going to be making a hull out there, you wax it, then gel coat it, then build on top of it?
Wax the mould so that we don't have any incidents with it sticking. And then we'll gel coat it, allow the gel coat to go off, and then we tend to double gel to make sure we've got a good coverage and no shady bits on the finish.
I've noticed on the other side there's a couple of different coloured. Is this where you would put the different coloured gel coats on? So if you're having a grey or you're having a black or you're having a... rather than
customer decides what colour he wants, and sometimes we try and tote them out of them, but it doesn't always work.
Well, there's a saying about it, isn't it, that the customer's always right in matters of taste.
There is. But then we now apply fiberglass. This next top has got all the fiberglass. Once that's dried, we now put the layers of fiberglass onto it. Now, this will basically just have a chopped strand mat, which is your everyday fiberglass. Your hull will be a combination of different biaxials. They'll run at 45 degrees, they run at 90 degrees. There's totally different materials used
and
in that.
This is where you're adding the, I'm assuming this is for a cleat on the opposite side. So this is where you're adding the strengthening bits. Is this a 165?
This is a 165, yes. So we've now added the little wells at the back. We've put timber in wherever we're going to bolt anything. So if we've got side rails, pulpit rails, even the bridge on this, we've put wood reinforcements in.
So at this stage, if I contacted you about having a bespoke Warrior built and I'd said that I wanted to have extra cleats in, you could put some extra strengthens in at this point to put extra cleats on or extra rails in.
Yeah, there's a 175 top just being, that's had the reinforcements put in. We're now at the process where they're going to sand ready for flow coating the internals. And this particular customer wants more lights.
Is this for
in
running
the
your
boat.
cables?
So that's for running cables, and we'll
sense.
also, it gives us somewhere to actually fix the LED lighting that we'll put in.
Yeah, I've got you.
So
It's never good running cables, is it? Especially when you end up catching your thumb or something on a cable tie that's been cut off.
There's also a lot of reinforcements that are in there that you've got to either drill through. So initially, if a customer wants light in there, we're able to put more conduit in, and then it just looks a lot neater.
Well, it's being able to create that bespoke finished product at this level rather than it just being like a standard coming out that you've got to modify after the fact.
Yeah.
Putting this level of care and this level of forethought into it, I'm imagining that's how you end up with such a good finished product.
The thing about buying new is you get the boat built to how you want it, and not then buy one that's maybe second hand and then you've got to alter it, which doesn't always work.
We've been talking about that as well.
It's better having something made right from the start, however you want it.
And these are all the components into your wells.
So these will be all the little moulds that we have for doors, hatches, anchor lockers, and that they'll all get manufactured on this side.
So this is the part where all the components get made, and then as they come
we
down the line.
We manufacture on this side. We have full length extraction all the way down to just reduce the styrene emissions in here, and generally. It's good to have all the little mouldings because we put the apprentices on them, and then if they cock it up, we chuck it away. But it's easy for them to start before we obviously let them go on to the
So you've got all the components made at this side, and then as we lead, where'd you go to from there? This is where you put all the parts together on this side?
We have, everything made in the big moulds gets pulled out with the crane, dropped onto a stand, and then it goes through into the trimming bay.
That's what the lads are working on. And when you say the trimming bay, I'm assuming you just mean you take the caps off the edges.
They're going to take, like that hull's just been pushed out in order to do something else. So they've just basically trimmed along the edge, took all the sharpness off it. Now it's got to go back and just get hoovered out. Obviously, people working in the extractions on in there, so it's going to be a little
that
noisy.
one there where you've got the top on the bottom, is that after it's come out of trim?
Yeah.
This is interesting here, showing the
Well,
thickness of your.
these are basically jigs to put the boats in, because the normal way of building a boat would be, whilst the hull's in a mould, you put the underfloor structure in, and that stays true. The whole boat stays true.
I'm assuming that if you took it out of the mould without the structure in, it can warp. Is that what you're saying?
So because of the way we do it, which is a lot easier to make the hulls that way, we can't then fit the structure internally, because we'd be working at height, it'd be a pain. So we build the bottom half of the mould
as a cradle to sit in.
As a cradle to sit in. So the minute it's dropped into it, it's then levelled up, which this one is.
Yeah. I'm looking.
And then we make sure it's level, and then we can drop.
I'm looking at your two different colours here. So this grey area here would have been set in at the gel coating stage.
That would have been done in the gel coating stage in the mould. So this is a 175 that's been in the trimming bay. It's also had a keel band fitted to it. So on the 175, the keel band is bolted through.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that before, weren't we?
And then that's
you'll
fiberglassed over.
So there's no chances of
keel bands leaking? No chance of a 175 keel band leaking. And then the backboard goes in at this stage, and he's now trimming the inner moulding.
I can see what you mean about cleaning it all up on the edges.
Yeah, because it would be too sharp.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that once you've cleaned up you've trimmed both the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
This is where you'd like to marry them up.
Yeah, there's a good example on this one, because once it goes from that stage, it will then end up with the floor moulding in as well.
Okay.
Then it'll get bonded together, and then it comes over to the guys finishing and fitting out here, and you can see the actual bond on the flange here.
So you paste them together and then rivet
So that's pasted, yeah. So they are chemically bonded and mechanically fixed, and then we put the hard PVC fender. At this stage, it starts getting all the fittings, whether it be the lights, the different rod holders, pulpits, and it will be fitted out.
So at this point in time, you've built the body, and then you just come to fit in the jewellery and the windows. And
one way of putting it.
Well, I was looking at some of them and I was thinking, that's nice and shiny, I like that bit. I've noticed quite a few bits of kit in there, and I thought, oh yeah, I've got them, or I'd like them. Yeah, it's really interesting. And you've also got a couple of, you do aftermarket work as well.
This one would be coming for a service, and then he'd want additional work doing. So we do try and fit some of that work in, just to keep the customers happy.
Well, I've experienced it because I'm part of the community myself, but there is definitely like a warrior group, a warrior community. And
for sure, yeah. The good thing about getting the boats back to work on is you see things that you might want to change.
Yeah. You see where it's taking wear and where it needs.
And we then can improve the product by seeing exactly what that is going to look like in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
Well, the testament to it is mine's a 10, 11. So mine's 12 and 13 years old at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm looking at it, the fact that well, we were talking about one of your newer projects, one of the things that you're working on for the future, even something so simple as going so far as to take down some of your spray lines and changing, so you're changing the angle of the transom from 12 to 15 to your little tiny tweaks, and that is only from seeing the...
Yeah, and customer feedback is important. So, but if we didn't work on the older boats, we wouldn't get that. So
is there anything new that you want to talk about? Anything interesting that you've got coming up that you want to be able to shout about, or is that? Do we not get a sneak peek on it? Do you want to keep it?
There is things new coming through, but at the moment,
all right,
we'll leave it.
You'll maybe just have to show me off camera.
We'll show you off camera, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I'm going to continue picking your brain for at least another half an hour. This has been really interesting.
Once the boat leaves here, it'll usually end up in the front of the building waiting for the customer to collect, and we'll run through the handover with them, explain how we do. So if you want to have a look in the front, I think we've got some
we'll
boats.
go through that way.
Some very early Mark 1, 165.
Man might actually be one of
as
these photos because man was an ex-showboat.
We did a lot of shows at that time, so there's a lot of ex-showboats, but we were saying earlier, this particular 165 here, I think there's pricing on this one of about £11,000 for a full package.
But that was at the time of like 2 and 6, surely it was.
It was, yeah. And that boat will probably achieve more than that now, second hand. So we've got 3 boats in here, finished off, waiting for customer collection. 175 and a 170, which obviously you're familiar with, and that's the 175 Pro XS with the 150 Pro XS Merc.
I was going to ask you to explain the difference between then this one and this one. Is it just the larger engine, or have you changed anything towards the design of it, or is it?
Design's not changed, it is just a larger engine, and there's a few more little touches with the embroidered Pro XS, and it's different steering, but it's basically a very fast boat for someone who wants to go very fast and doesn't mind chucking a lot of petrol in. Because the Suzuki 115 would use a lot less petrol. And obviously we explain to people they don't have to give it full throttle.
You don't have to, but you still want
to. They do.
There is a couple of beautiful things I've just noticed, like this is a wonderful touch. My man at the back of the engine well, because mine's got a larger, in fact you'll be able to see it in there, has got the Warrior emblem. But seeing little finishing touches like that, it's wonderful. And you were explaining to me that just for the different types of user of market, you've got the leisure, 170 leisure, rather than the 175 or the Export or the XS or the Pro Angler. It's
170s initially was just for leisure, with the back seat.
You're explaining to me the flare at the back is for strength for
the curve in the transom was put in there purely to take some of the stress of the ski pole. So it was designed primarily as a leisure boat, but we are seeing a lot of people, probably down to you, using 170s as fishing, and that is something we're working on at the moment to just make a 170 a little bit more fishing friendly.
Well, yeah, mine's a family boat. The whole family uses it. So my wife comes on it. She likes the little bits of like the cleaner skin and the double skin and the nice seats and things like that. But at the same time, it is still a fantastic fishing platform.
They need to be used as many times as you can.
The reason, one of the main selling points for us for it was the higher gunnels and the stability, because of my little lad. I mean, at the time he was 6 and now he's 8. It's been a fantastic boat.
When we started, and currently it's about 29 years ago when we started, the freeboard was important. There weren't very many boats out there with the higher freeboard.
Well, the Orkneys are halfway down your knee.
They were a lot lower, and it was just one of the USPs that was a no-brainer. And it's just carried on as we've developed things, and
it's worked in my favour as well, because I looked into getting it coded, and because the
gunnels
were already higher, you're already closer to brilliant. Thank you very much.
Phil, that was a hell of a walk around with John. I think everybody is going to be really interested in getting a glimpse of this amazing facility you've got. So thank you very much for that. Just whilst we've got the boat behind, we're going to do a walk around on it. But just very briefly, talk me through this 175 Pro XS and what you've done that's different on this boat.
The 175 is something, the Pro XS is something we had an agreement with Brunswick in the States.
That's so cool.
And we use the decals, the same decals that's on the engine.
Yeah.
There's a few other things that are probably not on this boat, but the customer wanted this totally understated.
Yeah.
Without the bling. There tends to be a bit more bling in a full hit Pro XS where we put carbon fibre on the sides, like a different steering wheel.
See, I love the sound of that because you've got carbon fibre. From those that haven't seen it, on the Pro XS model, you've got carbon fibre 150 on the side, so then that would match up here.
Yeah, the decals match, the carbon fibre match. We put the red trim on the seats. We embroider with the Pro XS logo on the seats as well.
Amazing.
Obviously, steering's totally upgraded on this particular boat because of the torque of the engine. It's basically a very high spec 175 with a very fast engine.
Yeah, so talking of very fast, you said it to me earlier on, but what sort of top speed?
We're close to 50 miles an hour. We're running 43, 44 knots.
Wow, that's quick.
Which is pretty quick in the boat. And obviously, we can't do that all the time. But nice when we can.
Absolutely, yeah. And like you said, if you don't mind putting a little bit more petrol in it, this is the way to do it. I think the embroider work you've done, we'll show it on the video. I mean, it's just such a high quality product, and I think, you know, I've seen it a lot. You know, people will point at boats that look a little bit like a Warrior, and they'll be like, "That's a Warrior," and I think that's a testament to what you've done in the fishing market in the UK.
Yeah.
And it's only when you then come and stand on a Warrior that you really know that you stood on one. It's an amazing finish. So for those that haven't seen a Warrior, incidentally, you need to come. We're in Preston at the moment at the main head office of Warrior. If you're interested in a new boat, then you need to give the guys a call, give Phil and the team a call. Potentially come down and have a little look around.
Yeah, we do encourage customers to have a look and see actually what goes in the boats.
Yeah.
And then they know what's going into it, and then they can make their own mind up.
But you can have pretty much anything you want within reason. And
I should say no a lot more than I do.
That's a good trait, though. That's a good trait.
Some things are interesting.
Yeah. Well, you were saying, I mean, this one here's got dual Garmin's on there, but you've got somebody that's gone even further on their build. You know, I guess
they will be going a lot further. Maybe we'll give you a ring on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you want to talk about it, talk to the guys. I'm not going to make the problem. But what I would say is come and check out these boats. It's been brilliant to come to Warrior. It's great to be in this part of the world. Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome.
And it was great to see you at the Boatlife show. Hopefully you'll be able to see the guys potentially there next year in 2025. I can't even believe that that's coming round. But there'll be no doubt lots of these sorts of Warrior boats in the Boatlife Fishing Championship as well. So thanks very much for watching the video. Like, subscribe, all that type of stuff, and we'll see you guys very soon.